Thank you. A very warm welcome to everyone in this room who is attending the Global Desi Diaspora Market, which is our yet another inspiring and interesting Insight Views series session. Our speaker is Dr. Tausif Malik, and a well-renowned person who runs global media companies and has very thorough knowledge on the global Desi diaspora. So we, on behalf of the Advertising Club of Madras, are bringing this interesting session for all of you today. I have Kavita Srinivasan, the secretary, on this call. I have Anbu, the past president and committee member. I have Stalin, who is the joint secretary as well on this call. And I'm very happy to see many of our Government Arts Trichy College students and our regulars on this call today. Thank you for joining on a Friday evening of knowledge before the weekend kicks in. I and just to kind of update all of you, we are going to be having regular sessions with our Insight View series twice a month, as always. Please stay tuned for more that's coming up in the month of December. We will also be continuing our PGDA session. If you're free to come and join and learn from the session from the club, and you will see the rest of the sessions that are going to be panned out on our members forum and our social media. So I would like to ask Kavita to introduce the speaker. Over to you, Kavita.
Thanks, Suraj. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Dr. Tausif Malik, founder, publisher, and editor of TMA Worldwide, the group behind the Desi Bus, the Mad Bus, the Dubai Bus, GCC Startup News, Startup Berita, and SRS Worldwide. He is also the founder of an ad tech platform making affordable education access to the Americans. A media innovator with footprints in India, UAE, Oman, Kuwait, UK, and USA, he launched Press of Oman, created the first PR firm in Oman, and co-founded India's first celebrity digitization venture with Lucky Ali. He introduced India's first IT recruitment advertising format in 1994 as well. Dr. Malik holds two master's degrees from India and a DBA from Argosy University, Chicago. He founded the Press Club Oman, co-authored Doing Business with Oman, and leads the Global Desi Republican Caucus, supporting South Asian voices in US politics. Today, he splits his time between Chicago, Dallas, and Pune. Please give him a warm welcome, and over to you, Dr. Tausif.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for inviting me to this lecture. The Ad Club of Madras, it's an honor because it's one of the oldest advertising club of the world, actually, one of them, when I research. So it's a very honor to be there. And as you said, there's a lot of students, so it's a very interesting topic. I want to touch base on a couple of things. There might be some industry veterans joining in today or on the YouTube. So we'll start the session. I'll just share the PowerPoint. Today we're going to learn a very interesting market. It's called the Desi. Desi in Hindi or colloquial language means the South Asian people outside of the country is called Desi. And because I lived in Middle East, Europe, and America, and so I know this market in and out because I've worked with different people looking at this market. So I thought this would be an interesting thing. And I'm calling this part one because it's a huge market. So if Advertising Club of Madras is very happy to invite me again, I will do a North American session. I can do the South Asian session, and I can do a UK session because everywhere the Desis behave in a different way. We might be all Indians, but when you look at North Indian, when you look South Indian, and even in South Indian, how a Telangana gentleman behaves, how a Tamil gentleman behaves, it's a different, because we grew up in different environments, but we are still Indians. That's the way the Desi diaspora is globally there, but where they're staying, it affects like that. Before I start, because I see a lot of students, and in our industry, the problem is we don't recognize our seniors. Like when you see creative industry, everyone knows in the music industry who's A.R. Rahman, who's Mozart. But in advertising industry or media industry, we don't know. So I just want to honor some people because without them, I would not be standing here and talking or doing my business for years. So the first person to give me a chance is Mr. Dinkar Shiledar. a founder of Mona Advertising. The second agency I worked was Pooja Advertising. Mr. Narendra Pawar gave me a chance, and he told me that I was international star, and I should perform that way. Then I worked with one of the largest ad agencies of the 90s. It was called WAMS, Western Advertising and Marketing Services, founded by legendary advertising lady, Mrs. Vijay Lakshmi Menon. And there, one gentleman, Mr. Iftikhar Patin, saw my credentials. I was just out of high school. There was no advertising course as such, and he got me in. But there were other four people who molded my career in that agency. Mr. Shashidharan Pillai was a media head, and he taught us media without a computer or a calculator. He would just look at the rate card and say, "Itna business hai." We also had Mr. Balchandra Swami. He was a production head. He would tell those days technology was different, how to look at it. And there's also a creative, studio manager, Mr. Elvis Fernandez. He was very, very, the way he treated us made us a smart person. And last but not the least, Mr. Pramod Gaikwad, he was the creative director. When I used to sit with him, understood the nuances of everything, and all the team members of WAMS, because that agency actually changed my life. Then Mr. Bassam Hasuna was a legendary advertising guru from Middle East, and he used to sit on JAMA, which is Japanese automotive agencies, and I learned a lot of automotive advertising from him. Then we had Mr. Michael Hilton. In fact, he was born in India before the independence, and he could speak Hindi and Urdu very fluently. In fact, write it. And he taught me how to do people management. And Dr. Nasser Zamar was a PhD in visual communication from Germany. He taught me how retail advertising works. During that time, I also worked with a research company, which is based in Oman, and they gave me a chance to start Oman's first PR agency. And because of that, the government of Oman and the government of UK invited me to talk on, PR and advertising. I also learned, there was a book I tell everyone, recommended by my previous boss, Mr. Iftikhar Patan. It was called Maxi Marketing. In 1980s and 1990s, they created a book called Maxi Marketing, where they said the era of mass marketing will get over. And I got very intrigued with CRM. Those days, there was no technology. And I wanted to pitch for an account in UAE, which was Emarat gas stations. I wanted to do, loyalty programs for petrol pumps. And I ended up meeting Mr. Vivek Basrur. He's a legend in direct marketing. His previous agency was called Diram. Now it's called Directions. Now it's headed by his wife, Leena Basrur. I learned a lot with him, and we got the biggest client from there. Also, in India, when I came back from Dubai, Mr. Turab Lakawala gave me a chance to head his agency. And my whole guru of my life, who pushed me into advertising, was late Sadi sir. He was a finance guru, a paraplegic, but he told me, don't get into film industry. I wanted to get into film industry. He says, get into advertising. Also, I had a company with Lucky Ali, those days, one of the biggest stars, MTV Artist of the Year for 52 weeks. I had a company with him, my professor, and it was called Crossover. And I launched the company through a concert. There's also a gentleman called Mr. Aslam Shems. He's now called Art Noor. He's one of the most famous painters now. He's the first Indian and an artist whose display of work was even before Shah Rukh Khan displayed on Burj Khalifa. And finally, rolling down today's topic, the Desi market, there are two gentlemen, Mr. Hemant Brahmbhatt, I call him Hemant Bhai, and Ashok Ishwaran sir, I call him Ashok sir. They taught me publication business, and they also taught me how to look at the Desi market. So I wanted to, okay. Why this market is very interesting. Before we got into this call, we and Suraj were talking. There are so many NRIs living in Middle East, and so many Dubai properties are looking out here. So the diaspora is one of the biggest and the most powerful. Anywhere I have traveled from America to Australia to New Zealand, every city I've seen a South Asian person, and especially Indians, especially in the tech world. And if you even need to go to Singapore, the Tamilian people have restaurants across Singapore and Malaysia. So the diaspora is huge, couple of generations behind, and the latest one. And this diaspora is the highest earning potential, and they send a lot of money back home. And because of that, if you see the data from the government of India, the NRIs have sent millions of dollars every year to help a country rebuild, with their investment. And even now, Lulu Group is investing here. Mr. Mohammed from Lulu Group, they're investing here. And recently, if you have seen Mamdani, his parents are from Indian origin, and he's won. So Indian origin people are very big, or South Asian people are very big in the politics now. If you look at North America, the Fortune 500 companies, especially the tech, is owned by Indians. You see Google, you see YouTube, you see Adobe, you see Microsoft, all headed by Indians. And now they have $1 trillion collective purchasing power. So it's very important why this market is very important. And my experience living across the world, nobody has started this market very seriously. They have done it in piecemeal, I mean in installment, but never done in serious business. And me and my company are trying to do that. Now, who are the global Desis? There are people who are called non-resident Indians, like who have Indian passport, but living in a foreign country, they call non-resident Indians. Then people of Indian origin or person of Indian origin are people like me who were previously Indian citizens, but now they are Americans. Or their children who are born outside the country, and they're called persons of Indian origin. And the government of India launched OCI card for us, overseas citizens of India. So whenever I'm in India, I have a privilege given by the government of India. So I come in as an Indian, I stay unlimited on the OCI card. And when you see the second, third generations of Indians are doing fantastic work. Now they have gone away from being medical doctor or engineers. They're going to art, culture. Recently, there's this Gujarati, young guy. I forget his name. He's heading the orchestra symphony in the UK now. And now when we see the South Asian culture is where, we are related to food, we are related to, culture, celebrations of our festivals like Onam, Diwali, Dasera, Christmas, Eid. So this is who are these are the people affiliated. The global Desis across the countries where I've traveled, they're very, very, attached to their native home. They're proud over their heritage. And why they're successful is because they're family-driven values. Even when you're in America, the children don't leave their parents. And because they stay in the same house, they create more value. And because they can save more money, and that's why they can start more companies. Again, everything for South Asian people is investing in their education. So my father moved to America, and he very surely said, you should become a doctor. Unfortunately, I didn't want to become a doctor. But then he says, I thought I'll do BCom, but he thought I'll do CPA. But just for him, I did a doctoral degree, which is really helping me. So education is very prime importance across America to Australia, where you see the diaspora. And they're digitally present. Even now, the diaspora, now we recently wrote, Bunny Rabbit is a Malaysian Tamil rapper, which is doing a show now in Singapore. So they are also digitally present. They're promoting their talent through digital media. And that's why we have access to them. Now, we are advising people, and we need to know with whom are we talking? What is the demographics? What is the psychographics? What is the income graphics? Across the world, it's around 40 million plus strong population of South Asian people. Their average spending power is $1 trillion. 1 trillion is at least equal to some countries' GDP. Like, for example, Canada has around $2 trillion GDP. So it's nearly there. When you look from India, they're the largest emitters. Now, when you see, certain cities, like when you look around, there's a lot of people, their parents move to Gulf countries and they send them money. They have created properties. They have created business here. So here they spend a lot of money and they grow. So when there's a diaspora, they first is if they're living in Middle East, they want to make their future secure is they buy real estate in India. They also invest in gold. They also come and do tourism in India, and they also invest in education. So they'll send their children back home to get educated. And all this thing leads to, when you have a secure family, when you have education and you're financially frugal and financially smart, helps you become an entrepreneur. And majority of the diaspora is into tech, healthcare, and retail. Now, why I say tech? When you look at Silicon Valley and even in the Middle East or even in UK, a lot of tech companies are started by South Asian descent people. Also healthcare, because engineering and medicine is the two degrees which people take in our communities, and sometimes they want to start, expand their horizon. Retail, why? Even in the UK and even in the Middle East or Europe or US, a lot of people take franchises. Like when you see the US or Canada, most of the Dunkin' Donuts is owned by South Asian people, especially the Gujarati diaspora. So here they are entrepreneur, they're leading the tech innovation and healthcare innovation. So this market is very critical from an advertising industry point of view. These are the consumption patterns for them. They spend, once they achieve a threshold, they spend a lot of money. When you see the first generation goes, they save the money, but the next generation makes a lot of money and they spend a lot of money. Even in the US or Canada, UK, even in Singapore, even in Middle East, the South Asian families who have made the money spend a lot of money on travel, tourism, and especially destination wedding. That's a big thing coming up. They also have home attachment. Wherever I travel, I always wanted to go and buy, glucose D. When I was a kid, I always ate glucose D. And I also like to drink Thumbs Up if it's available rather than Pepsi or Coke. Now, the third point is very important, which is called celebrity influence. My boss, Mr. Hemant Brahmabhat, Hemant Bhai, taught me when we were doing the newspaper called Desi Talk and later Hi India. He says the TRPs or readership in the newspaper is number one when it's celebrity. And when you look at anything with celebrity, it goes up. And this is a point you should remember, because I'm going to use this in the case study. Okay. And all the South Asian diaspora are each other on a network, and they share information. If there's a news about immigration, they will share in their private WhatsApp group. If there's a low discount ticket happening, they will say. If there's a sale happening, they will share. So they will use every tool, whether it's social media, on Facebook pages, or WhatsApp, or Telegram, or even Instagram. They will share information between their families that there's something happening and they want to buy. And because they were very frugal and investment, they might be spending a lot of money on certain brands, but they're very ethical and purpose driven. Whatever they want to buy, they want to check it. In Hindi, it's called thok baja ke kharidna. They will check whether it's worth it or is it ethical, then only they'll buy. Okay, as I said previously, family recommendations plays an important part. When I was doing my doctoral degree, my thesis was uh, uh, impact of word of mouth on online purchase. So when I did the dissertation and when I came out outcomes, family and friends were number one. People didn't rely on the reviews. They'll still go and call their family and friends. Is this Oppo phone good? Is this Mercedes good? They'll still go back to the family and friends. They also get influenced by community leaders and influencers. Like if you go like in Chicago, there's a gentleman called Iftikhar Sharif. He's the first person of Indian origin to get a document like OCI card, and he's very influential in Chicago. So people still go back now. There's a documentary made on him, that how he's inspired a lot of people in Chicago, irrespective of their background, to build networks and help them with business. Also, when you go back outside the country, people also have their subsets. They will always go to the ethnic groups, whether you're North Indian, South Indian. Like, for example, there's a Telugu association in North America. There's Malayali association. There's Maharashtra Mandal from Maharashtra. So you'll have different trust and groups where people get associated and they celebrate their, cultural nuances there. And sometimes when you're driving in Dubai and there's different radios, Dubai FM, There's people talk about, I was in Pune, ate Golgappa, Pani Puri, I ate dosa in Bangalore. So there's a lot of storytelling by RJs in Middle East when you drive a car. And everyone gets, celebrates together Diwali, Eid, Navratri, Onam, and Vaisakhi. In fact, ZTV in the UK does this very big cultural event in the UK. Whenever there's a big event like Diwali, Dasera, they come together and do that. The Sikh community celebrates Vaisakhi across North America, especially in Canada, where the numbers are high, and also in Australia, the numbers are very high, the Sikh community. So they do, in the parliament or in the Senate or the Congress, they celebrate. And the biggest thing what the South Asian diaspora does is they will start saving money and build an asset. Okay. Now, the winner from the diaspora market is North America. The South Asian people in North America, especially USA, are. Yes, Cyril raised a hand. Question, sir? Okay. So North America is a huge market, and USA has the largest population in North America. And in USA, majority of South Asian people are in NASA. They are doctors, they are scientists, they are attorneys, means lawyers, they are pharmacists. They earn the highest respect in the community. And because they hire high income people, they also the biggest contributor to political parties. Like years back, there's a gentleman called Balwinder Singh in Chicago. And when Manmohan Singh ji was the prime minister, we wanted to do a nuclear deal. All these people in Chicago got together, talked to congressmen and senators because they were writing big checks, and they got the nuclear deal for India. So they're very influencer because they put in a lot of money in elections. Same thing in Canada. When you go to the Canadian Parliament, in fact, per ratio, the Canadian Parliament has more South Asian people than America. Okay, and the key factor here is in North America, especially the US, the South Asian diaspora is far beyond. According to Pew Research, which is a not-for-profit research organization, they said an average South Asian income is $120,000 average. So it can, they take an average. So it's a huge diaspora. There are other key countries: Germany, UK, Australia, Singapore, Malaysia, South Africa, and Caribbean countries. Now, when you look at UK after America and Canada, the UK has large population, but the South Asian descent people have a different psyche, and the income graphics is different. Even though they're highly successful, but when they compare with the peers in America, they're not that successful. In Germany, the South Asian diaspora is very successful because most of the people are tech oriented. Also looking at Australia and New Zealand, they're also very successful. But when you look at Singapore and Malaysia and South Africa and Caribbean countries, this diaspora is not new. 90% of the South Asian have been there during the time of British. They were taken from South India, they were taken from Bihar, and all these places and put them into farming. So most of them were farmers, but now their children are becoming very active. Now, when you look at Singapore, the president is a is a Tamilian origin Singaporean who's the president of Singapore. So this is what important. And even one of the Caribbean countries, the prime minister recently, Modi ji was there. She's from Indian origin. Now, I'm leading to this very important fact, and this is going to be the lead for our discussion now. Because India is very close to Gulf countries, and majority of South Asian live in Middle East, and most of the Middle East people or the GCC residents, they want to come back to India. When somebody goes to America, he's not intending to come back to India. He wants to take a passport. When somebody goes to Canada, his intention is to live there permanently. But when you look at the Middle East, their whole agenda is to make money and live back very comfortably. When you look at Kerala, the whole economy is based on this. When you look parts of Karnataka is again based on this. You look at parts of Hyderabad or Telangana, Andhra is based on this. A lot of people who go to the Gulf, their aspiration is to make a house, make an income property, and come back home. And this is very important because UAE has a maximum, followed by Saudi Arabia, Qatar, Kuwait, Oman, and Bahrain. Why we have put UAE on the top is because UAE is the big daddy in the market. Anything which happens in UAE, everyone adapts in the Middle East. When Lulu supermarket started, they started only in the UAE, but now they have across the GCC as well as they call it Middle East and North Africa region called the MENA region. And this is the largest cluster of diaspora living there. And their main intention is they'll buy gold when they're coming back home. They'll buy, toiletries when they're coming. Earlier, now everything is available in India, and they'll invest in education for the children here. They'll send them to med school. They'll also come back and do investment in retail sector. And some of them are actually now producing movies. So they have come back to, India to invest money. Now, when we're starting, when I'm saying ground zero, because here we can use this as a case study to build brand management for, if there's, for example, there's a client in Tamil Nadu and in Madras or in Hyderabad, they want to look at the diaspora. What is the best way they can do is they can build a brand. Like Dabur has a big presence in the Middle East. Thumbs Up has a big presence in the Middle East. And then, Shan Masalas you get here, Shan started doing there and they globally shipped. So there are different brands. People can come to Middle East and they build it around, the whole area. Okay. Today I'm going to use Danube as a case study. Everyone must be watching the Big Boss. Salman Khan hosted the main one, and there's the Danube group there. Now Danube, 10 years ago nobody knew Danube, but in last couple of years Danube has become a big brand, and his founder Rizwan Sarjan is becoming one of the biggest brands, bigger than his own company. And so we're going to use this, how he used everything which I talked about, demographics, income graphics, psychographics, purchasing habit, everything, how he used it to build his brand and build his business valuation around $1 billion. Now, we should give a credit to his team, but we should also give a credit to the man, because sometimes, as our advertising colleagues would agree, if the client doesn't understand the magnanimity of brand building, he will always be there. But Rizwan Sargent understood the brand and he started using this thing to build his brand. Okay. Now, as I told you, he's an Indian origin guy from Bombay. He moved to Dubai in 1990s, and how he used the opportunity created by the UAE government to get into construction, and from there building the construction business, then how he used his money to build Bollywood power, then how he understood the diaspora psychology, then how he used his emotional storytelling that from some slums of Bombay to a billionaire in Dubai, and how he created an innovative financing way so where people can buy. He not only created a brand, but he also made sure people buy his brand by innovative financing. And it is one of the most successful real estate brands in the Middle East. There are a couple of different brands, but nobody knows who's the founder. Nobody knows anything. I can't take the names, but you can Google search the big brands from South India, North India. They're making but they're not come to that success. Okay. How he understood the psyche. In the Middle East, prior to the government of UAE opening, any expatriate who would come, he had to rent a house for himself, or the company where he's working, they would give him an apartment. So when I moved to the Middle East, the company was giving me cash to rent out, and later they gave me a hotel apartment because I was traveling. So they said, we'll pay for your hotel. So they were paying. I couldn't own anything. And every month I was losing around $1,000, which is approximately 4,000 dirhams. And that's where Rizwan Sarjan understood that if he can talk to people like me, he can sell his products. Instead of going outside the country to sell products, his properties, everyone was trying to sell outside. He started selling inside. Why he started selling inside? Because he can use the customer, database and the customer testimonial to talk to his future plan. And he created 1% plan where individual would pay 20% down payment, and every month they would pay 1% as a mortgage. And people like me who were earning like paying 4,000 dirhams, this was a great thing to buy property. Now, instead of buying an asset in India, people started buying asset in Dubai. And because I told you previously, all the South Asian people, they refer to themselves on their own networks. So I would call my cousin, I would call my best friend. I would say, listen, Danube is offering this. So he started using the social networks of the South Asian people to sell the property. And there was no mortgage because, some people don't like mortgage, a bank loan. And when you don't have a bank loan, it's totally stress-free. When you're stress-free, you can perform better. So instead of paying a rent, I was buying my own property. Okay. And with this, he built a trust. And because he built a trust, he could leap forward, as they say in business, when you study MBA, 80% of your business is done by 20% of your customers. And 20% of your, 80% of your customers do 20% of business. So he looked at the people who are very loyal, use them. In fact, we heard stories, same people who bought property, they became his real estate agents. Okay. Once he did that, once he, created the trust factor, he started talking in a different league. He started talking to NRIs who are not even living in Middle East. People like me living in America says, oh, it's next to India, you can come, you can have best of both. And then he started putting pride, ownership. Like there are 7 sins according to the Pope. In fact, I'll share that article. In advertising, they use 7 sins. There used to be an agency called Triton Advertising, owned by Ali Merchant and Munawar Sayed. And I know both of them because I tried to get the network to Middle East. They used to do Eureka Foods. They had a theory of 7 sins. And in fact, I heard Mr. Ali Merchant when he was in Kuwait with me. And based on this, I wrote an article in Arab magazine that time. So when you use pride, pride is very important. Show off. 90% of people buy iPhone not for this thing, but just to show that I have an iPhone. When you have pride, you want to leverage status. Oh, I have this, I have status. And why it will come when there's Bollywood affinity. And that's where people connect. Oh, a celebrity has bought it. Oh, when I buy it, I'll be like, seem like celebrity. Okay. Now, how he used the celebrity thing. When I was talking, my boss, Mr. Hemant Bhai, told me most of the South Asian diaspora look at films. Even in India, film stars are worshipped like gods. Like when Rajni sir walks in, people go crazy. When Vijay comes, it's like crazy. When Shah Rukh Khan comes, crazy. Now, what he did, even though it was not his business of media, he bought the rights to publish Filmfare Middle East in 2018. So it's a long shot. It's not a short shot. It's been 10 years in the making for him. And then the biggest thing he did was by taking the Filmfare, he started the Filmfare Achievers Award, which became one of the biggest spectacle of that year. And that made him like a celebrity. Okay. Once he did that, he had bragging rights to talk to anybody. Oh, I do Filmfare. Shah Rukh Khan was here, Deepika Padukone was here. And even if he doesn't talk, people have seen his videos. So it's when there's a known person buying product from a known person, even when they're charging high, people still pay big bucks on that. And then because of this, he cut loose from the crowd. He became a total differentiator. When we are doing advertising strategy, Roosevelt Reeves was the gentleman who created USP, unique selling proposition. And here Rizwan Sarjan and his brand communication team use this thing to become a key differentiator. Firstly, giving the tenants the right to ownership, getting Bollywood, and then doing big ticket events. So then they break away from other builders. Other builders are doing also big money, but they have moved ahead. Because of these events, he moved into Bollywood inner circle, especially A-listers and influencers. Now think about when a A-lister sees with Rizwan Sarjan. Now, what do you say? Virat Kohli, when he does a drop on his Instagram, he charges millions of rupees. Now, when Rizwan Sarjan is with some celebrity, his social media gets activated. And Google has an algorithm. If somebody else talks about you, the brand goes faster. So he used the events and Filmfare to talk to them. Also, then he used media mileage, because when you're talking with Shah Rukh Khan, the media covers. So when PR is like, in advertising, when we say PR is very big. Like advertising, we talk what we are good, but PR is a third party endorsement. And because you're with the A-listers, you get third party, endorsement, and that pushes the brand further. So in 2018, he was here. He bought Filmfare, and he was with Deepika Padukone. If he had not bought Filmfare, magazine rights, he would not be there. So he played a smart card. He invested the money. Okay. Then he came with the casting coup. Sorry. He got Salman Khan and Shah Rukh Khan together. Last year we did a story. He partnered with Salman Khan, being, foundation. Every property of Danube will have a gym of Salman Khan. Now, anybody who's a owner of that property or a tenant, every time he goes, he'll say, "Oh, I'm working out with Salman Khan's gym." So again, he used a trick where everyone will take selfies and post it. Okay. Then he used Shah Rukh Khan. He created Shah Rukh's Danube Tower. Now, the minute you take both Bollywood's biggest stars, the media talks. When he launched a week ago, or 1.5 weeks ago, even from America to Australia, even big media were talking about him. And you see how much money did he invest? Now, Kavita's here. Kavita, when we invest in brand building, how much cost is there to do full page ads across the globe? It's too much. With this, he's in the front news, especially page 3. Now, page 3 means the entertainment section. And as I told you earlier, entertainment section is well read. Sorry, I have been a flu with 2 days, so sometimes the voice cracks. Now you see here, he's with Salman Khan. There's nobody in the real estate business, even in India or in the UAE, has a partnership with Salman Khan. So he's broken the clutter big time. Very smart businessman. Now he's with Shah Rukh Khan and his son. How many people have the privilege of making King Khan? Okay. And then he joined with JioStar and Big Boss. And they have this Big Boss on JioStar 24/7. So 24/7, his brand is seen across OTT platforms, plus on Colors TV every day, Monday to Friday, Monday to Sunday. For 3.5 months, his brand is showcased. And every time it shows, the brand has a recall value. So anybody wanting to buy, like before we started the session, Suraj was saying there's a lot of property advertising from UAE. Now, when anybody is seeing property advertising from other brands, but the recall value of Danube will be high because we see them every day. In advertising, we say we use psychology, the right brain, left brain, lower brain. Right brain is for emotion, left brain is for factual information, lower brain for registration. So he is used something emotional criteria, that when people see everything about this guy every day, we hear every time we see, so there's a high recall value. And because of this, Danube has become a household name across India and the GCC. Whenever the promotion running, it says powered by Danube Properties, the biggest star of Bollywood. And you see his son, and he and Govinda's wife with Salman Khan at the show. How many people have that advantage to be on the show? And this will be not only, this will be on the digital library, on social media, on YouTube, everywhere he'll be there, stamped. Now, this is the Danube Properties room in Big Boss. Whenever the people are discussing, this brand is like broadcasted. Now, there's also other celebrities like Karthik Aryan has also endorsed, and there's a couple of other celebrities like who has bought properties. He gave them discounts, but because they were buying, they also got a discount, and they also posted for him. You see the Meet Brothers on the top, Raki Savandan, Kiku from the Kapil Sharma show. There are tons of them. I'm just putting few of them here. Okay, and his team is not only doing this, but they're building Rizwan Sarjan as a brand himself. So he has fantastic following on all the social media. Then he talks about what construction is happening. He's always talking about his inspirational journey. Then he's talking with celebrities. Like I saw a couple of days a video where he's talking with Nawazuddin Siddiqui in his house. I saw Farah Khan going to visit his house and talking to his parents. Then the personal masseuse of Rizwan family is giving a massage to Farah Khan. So they have an interaction. Then he's also telling people to start business. One of the influencers from the US asked him, if you were become a poor, what will you do? He said, I'll become a billionaire again. He inspiring people. He says, I can go to Africa and start again a billionaire. And he's also doing community outreach by doing, social work around. And this way, he's turned Danube into a human brand, an aspirational brand. Now, these are the 5 pillars, which is checklist. He's made accessibility for people to buy from being a tenant to owner. He done celebrity integration, SRK, Salman, and more. He's very focused on targeting tenants to global Indians. Initially started the tenants, now it's global Indians. He's using emotional storytelling and using digital, TV, and influencer ecosystem. Now it's not building buildings, it's building a cultural brand. From building tangible assets like buildings and offices, he's building a brand. So tomorrow, Danube can do anything because the brand is bigger. Okay. Now, coming back, what we learn from this, the outcomes. If we have to do a brand building exercise for our clients, potential clients, or for ourselves, we use emotional storytelling. We also use cultural festivals like Diwali, Eid, and Onam. ZTV, as I said, does events in UK, so you can partner with ZTV, do events there. You can do cultural influencer partnership. There's a lot of celebrities. There's this two brothers from Pune, but they live in Australia. They have a podcast for all the Marathi diaspora. They feature. You can go and outreach them. Then what we can also do is when Rizwan Sarjan use 1% to convert tenant into this, we should also look at financial, how to build, how to help them secure the goods and services if it's high ticket item, or if it's a low ticket item, give them a fantastic service to build loyalty. Because once you build loyalty, the customers become like your word of mouth. Okay. And also build diaspora media alliances. The Desi Buzz, we are the only news channel across the world where we do from America to Australia. Other Desi channels, they have a vision of country-centric, city-centric brand building for brands. So, you have to, if you're looking at diaspora, you can look at that and do tailor-made messaging. As I told you earlier, the South Asian in Middle East is different. The South Asian in America is different. So you have to do messaging according to the psychographics. Okay. Why that works? Because ethnic media, they're always happy to feature stories about the South Asian diaspora. There's a lot of events. The events, when you do an event in India, it's expensive. When you do a South Asian event at any religious center or the consulate or anywhere, it is very cheap, affordable to do sponsorship. We can also, there's a lot of students across the South Asian diaspora living across. You can use the student networks to spread the message. Also, there's diaspora chamber of commerce, like for example Indo-Caribbean Chamber of Commerce. They are working with GOPIO, which is called GOPIO, to create the world's first museum for NRI Indians across the globe. So there's Chamber of Commerce like that. There's also religious, groups from the South Asian community. Also cultural association like Maratha Mandal from Maharashtra, for example. And there's a lot of celebrities who come for 26 January, Republic Day, India Independence Day. There's parades in New York, there's parades in Chicago, London, everywhere. And they also do brand endorsement in that space. And when all these celebrities go to foreign countries, they're easily accessible than in India. Okay. The final conclusion, the global Desi market is very highly influential. You saw Mamdani now, you see the mayor of London, the president of Singapore, the previous prime minister of UK, Ireland, they're all Indian origin people. They're very digitally savvy, they're still emotionally connected, they're culturally very influential. Like last Diwali, President Trump hosted with Kash Patel, who's the FBI head, Diwali in the White House because of the influence of the Indian diaspora. And a lot of cities in the US have announced Diwali holiday now in schools. And they're very brand loyal because it works in the network of people, word of mouth, they become brand loyal. And they're very good storytellers. You must have met some people, like I'll say in Hindi, अरे भाई तेरे को बोला था वो खरीदने के लिए उससे ही ले. So your friends, like my friend just came from Ghana, he came to Chennai and he come for a treatment. So when he asked me, I said, oh, you should have come to Pune. So why did you go there? Like the influence between friends is very high, and also relatives. Okay. Thank you so much for this opportunity. Any questions?
Thank you, Doctor. Yeah, we have one question from Shruti Arthirajan, Government Arts College, Trichy. So her question is, India itself is very diverse in terms of culture, language, and lifestyle. And so the NRIs and global Desis are also culturally diverse. So is there one strategy for all, or do you create different approaches for each of the communities?
It's a different approach. Like when you're going to university, there's a Maslow's theory. Maslow's theory is very important, critical when you're doing branding strategy. So, like for example, a Telugu person in America is yes, he's more Telugu in America, but he then is he from Andhra or is he from Telangana? So you have to use different nuances to talk. But when we are doing a strategy, what we do is we do common denominator and we find out what is common, emotional, culturally relevant, influential. That's why they create a brand. And when you look at Rizwan Sarjan, he's used common denominator, which is Bollywood for us. It cuts across every Indian, whether you're from South India, North India, living in America, Australia, everyone is Indian in terms of Bollywood. So we have to use, but when you're doing a specific Onam, then it will Onam event, then it will be only catered to the South Indians. When you're doing Chhat Puja, it is mostly Biharis. Okay, so these are the.
Thank you. And the next question is from Shriya. So her question is, what channels are available in targeting global NRIs? Top five.
Okay. Mhm. Firstly, now in America, all the South Asian channels get broadcasted. There's a feeder room in New York, and people use Dish TV to get that. There's also streaming options now where you can stream stuff. And a lot of the channels itself, like Sony Live and everything, they have a feed which comes to North America on the OTT platforms. You can look at that. That is one. Secondly, social media is very active everywhere. And every city, like in Chicago, Heman Bhai, for example, he publishes Sandesh, Gujarati Sandesh newspaper. He's the franchisee owner for North America. So Gujarat Sandesh is a huge newspaper from Gujarat. So anybody from Gujarat, he publishes the newspaper and spreads it. He also does Hi India, which is only for Chicago or Midwestern area. So, and then he does Falguni Patak shows during the whole Navratri season. So he uses all that brand to do that. So these are the ways you can approach people. And news
Thank
channels like the Desi Buzz, Desi Times, the Asian Light, the India, India Mirror. There are too many channels. There are approximately, my count is 18,000 South Asian news channels across the world.
Oh,
In fact, there's a South Asian Journalism Association in North America.
oh wow.
Yeah, let me tell
18,000
you
is
the
a huge
name.
number. Yeah.
Yeah, let me tell you the name. Actually, I'm just forgetting the name.
Mm.
He's also from South India. Let me just tell you the name. It's called South Asian Journalism Association.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. And the next question is from Mohammed Javed Trichy again. Do
Okay.
NRIs prefer to be targeted as Indians, as global citizens, or as a blend of both? Does their identity change when in the buying mindset?
Okay. When Indians come from America to India, they behave more Americans. They'll have more accent. But when they're in the home country, like in America, we are more Indians actually.
Mhm.
Like all the kids go to the temple very well. All the kids go to the masjid very well. All the kids go to Gurdwara very well. And so they are more Indians outside the country actually. Very stray cases are they don't follow, but they're very inclined, especially the Generation Z, which we have been talking, are very, very inclined to their culture. In fact, there's few people because I used to be from the Democratic Party. There's some students who have come to study law in India because they want to use it in the business there back home in the US. So they're very Indian actually compared to Indians. They
Okay.
speak more Hindi, Tamil, Telugu than people here. We might speak more English actually.
Mhm. Yeah, true that. The next question is, how do you target NRI Indians in social media? Could you please be more specific?
Okay, now in social media, especially Facebook, what we use, every city and every country has a page or a group for South Asian. Like you Google search or go to Facebook, search Indians and Russia, there's a page. I
Mhm.
met one gentleman called Abhishek. He's the first Indian origin politician running for office in Brazil. I met Mr.
Mhm.
Yogi through social media. He's the first Indian, and he's from Pune. Uh, uh, you know, through the social media networks on this, he's the first to be elected. First high school teacher. Too many firsts for Mr. Yogi.
Mhm.
So there's Facebook has amazing connect on that. Instagram is not there. LinkedIn is not there. Facebook has
Mhm.
different country pages. So our team uses Facebook pages and
Okay.
groups actually.
Okay. Uh, Thank you. The next question is, how long does cultural memory stay alive in a diaspora families? Can we track how many generations it lasts, and does media play a role in preserving it?
Yes, like my father moved to America, I moved later, and we have a lot of memories. My dad always talked about memories from India. I have a lot of friends whose children are fourth generation, like, they have grandchildren now, and they still have Indian, culture values. They have remembrance. I have some friends in Kuwait. They always talk about, kebabs of Lucknow. I have some friends in, in the UK. They talk about, Hyderabadi biryani, chicken 65 from Chennai, and they debate chicken 65. Is it from Chennai? Is this from Hyderabad? When we are sitting together. So yes, we are very at last. When you go to Fiji, when you go to Mauritius, there are three generations of Maharashtrian people. I met them in India a couple of years ago when the minister was here. So I was invited to be with the minister, and the minister was talking in Marathi. So they're
Mhm.
still there. It lasts for generation, and in fact, you can go to the Desi Buzz, search for Gopi or GOPIO, and they're putting a museum for NRIs now.
Interesting. The next question, do Bollywood actors strike a chord with the young adults in Middle East still?
Yes, there's a barometer for celebrity success in the Middle East. That's why the movies are released before India on Thursday in the Middle East. So it's a barometer. And
Okay.
Indian or South Asian living in Middle East are technically actually living in just in a foreign country. So it is, and in fact, when you look at the box office numbers for Rajni sir's latest movie, Coolie, is more in North America than India. It's GOPIO. You can go to the Desi bus and you can find, while talking, I'll find that thing and I'll share it in the chat. Yeah, any
Again,
questions?
Mohammed Javid has another question. What is the role of artificial intelligence in modern marketing? And which AI related courses are most useful for students studying advertising? I think this is a generic question.
Okay, Javed, I'll share your article. I just recently looked. In fact, what has happened is AI is actually making a renaissance. Renaissance means it is getting back to advertising. Because what had happened in social media, everything we had lost. It was just viral, viral, viral. I've just shared the link for Gopio. And check that. So AI is there. How Grammarly came, how Word came, how PowerPoint came. When I started advertising career, there was no PowerPoint. It's like nine. I'm not ancient, but there was no computerization. We used to use Flipkart presentation. We used to use OHPs. We used to use sliders. So PowerPoint became just a tool. So AI is a tool, but I always tell people don't put your idea in AI because what happens is AI learns your idea and gives it to other person. So it's very dangerous when you put your idea into open system. So idea is proprietary, execution is proprietary. AI use it just like a tool to understand. You can't totally depend on technology.
I think these are the questions that we have for now. Thank you. Thanks a lot, Dr. Tausif. I now request Umana to deliver the vote of thanks.
Yeah. And I'll be very happy if you want to do a session on North America, and I can do couple of country centrics like how I use Danube. We can do South, Singapore, Malaysia, one unit, Europe as a UK as one unit, and North America as one unit, and Caribbean. I'll be very happy to, do for, all these students.
We definitely look forward to those sessions, and we'll probably align it in the new in the courses coming for in the next near future. Thank you. Thank you once again. Over to Manat.
Thank you, Kavita. Thank you, Mr. Malik, for taking us through a wonderful session. Again, we always feel proud about bringing in diversified experts in InsightView to put in marketing and advertising related inputs, insights through the InsightView series. And today, for the first time, our members and the community has got to know about the diaspora, the 40 plus million NRIs and PNOs across 110 countries. Today, you took us through the cultural nuances shaping the buying decisions of the Southeast Asian diaspora, particularly the Indian Desi community who are spread across. Of course, we are playing a major role in driving the remittance because, as per the data, during 2024-25, the Indian diaspora has did a remittance of 135.46 billion dollars flowing into India, which was from 125 billion the previous year, and it is increasing. And surprisingly, the second biggest one is Philippines. So wherever we go, the Filipinos are competing next to us, if I'm not wrong.
Right.
Small country, but they are
Madras advertising की वजह से Indian does.
Spread. So I'm thankful to you for the data you have took us to. You have also briefed us on the different ethnic groups and their celebrations and all that. We have seen how our celebrations are being. Very recently that we could see social media buzzing about our Diwali celebrations going overboard. Some fire related issues also. It's all while we celebrate, there are few negative inputs also coming in social media about the violent practice of noisy celebration from the Indians. Is getting some backlash, bound to happen. It's like then you spoke about the savings and asset building mindset of the Indian diaspora. Thanks again. The concept of inheriting wealth to our future generations is reflecting across. They are carrying forward the culture that has originated from the subcontinent. Good to see that. And you presented us with the classic case study of Danube property from a Dubai or a Gulf-based builder, how Dubai-based brands are now targeting Indian diaspora by associating with properties like Big Boss Hindi and Bollywood celebrities, icons. And that's another eye-opener for us. And finally, the diaspora marketing inputs, how brands can engage with South Asian diaspora through partnerships and outreach models that you have taken us. Thank you so much for all the inputs, sir, and we have taken note of your interest to present more on this topic related to the other geographies. We look forward to engaging you in another insightful session, in another session of InsightView series. Till then, our sincere thanks to you and the team at Club Secretariat, which has taken efforts to rope in, and all the people who has participated, students from the Trichy Government College and other students also who have been part of it from MEPCO also. So we are thankful to that, and the design team from Presto and all of them. I take opportunity to thank all once again, and thank you, Mr. Malik, once again. Looking forward to engaging you in another wonderful session. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you so much.
Thank you all.
Thank you. Have a nice weekend.
Yes.